big headline this evening is that UCP Marjon has failed in their attempt to break the world record for the longest football match. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, and we managed to catch up with Student Union President Joe Benson a few days after the event. So, how did it feel playing in the football game?
It was good fun. It was hard work as well, and obviously gutting afterwards as well that we didn't complete the 65 hours that we went for. But still, at the same time, we know that we raised a lot of money for charity, so that's the main thing.
You looked pretty tired after the second night. How was the injuries and that?
For me personally, I was alright, but for the team, there was, we picked up a couple of serious injuries. One of which someone's knee swollen up 3 times the size of what it normally is. We thought that could have been cruciate ligaments, but it's not, thank God. The other ones, were a little bit maybe more to the case of people not actually understanding how bad it was going to be, so any injury they picked up was going to be an excuse to maybe stop. I don't know. Everyone seems to be fine now, so the injuries probably weren't as serious as what we first thought.
Do you think you may have prepared a bit differently for it?
Yeah,
did it again?
Definitely. I don't think we actually realised how difficult the task was going to be. We gave ourselves probably less than 3 months to prepare for it. In an ideal world, you'd be looking at easily a year to prepare for something like that. Also, when Loughborough did it, I think only 4 of their players weren't marathon runners. We had 1 marathon runner and he pulled out a couple of weeks before. So yeah, in terms of physical fitness, that isn't always a problem because it's more about your mentality and your determination to get through the 65 hours, which we had from a lot of people. But there were some people that did pick up the injuries, and if we were to do it again, I'd definitely suggest getting a bigger group of players and narrowing it down to your 36 that you need, depending on commitment and also fitness as well.
So do you think you would do something like that again?
I'd be interested in doing it again. Obviously, I'm not going to be around next year, but I know that the boys that were involved this year, they're in their first year, are already talking about doing it next year. So, if I had the time for it, I'd be more than happy to come back and take part in it.
Things were still going well at the first night. They were still running around. It looked like the record was very much on. They were providing tricks, close chances. The goals were flying in. Morale was high as the music was blaring out of the speakers, and there was entertainment on show for the very few spectators that were there during the night. Everyone seemed to be happy, the mood was up, but by the second day, although there were the few that still had the energy to keep on running, keep sprinting, the majority were beginning to suffer the injuries. The game had slowed down, and for the most part, the game had to play on while players were suffering injuries around them. And it was at this point you could probably tell that they weren't going to make it, unfortunately. The goals were still going in, the injuries were still there. But by 8:30 Saturday morning, the players had decided it was time to call it a day. They reached the halfway mark, but injuries were causing too many problems for the players, and they just couldn't continue. It was a good effort by them, and on another time with better training they may have got the record, but this weekend it just wasn't to be, and they gave up after 30 hours on 8:30 Saturday morning.